1078 species in genus Allium. March 22nd. Allium. Allium, the ornamental onion, represents March 22nd. Allium symbolizes unity and strength. You bring people together and inspire collaboration. Like this plant, your many layers make you intriguing and unforgettable. All about alliums, a gardener's guide. Alliums have become a mainstay in my garden. Their striking globe-shaped flowers and architectural presence add a touch of drama to any space. But with so many varieties and questions swirling around these unique plants, I decided to dig into the world of alliums and share my learnings. What is allium? Allium belong to the Amaryllidaceae family, is a vast genus of flowering plants that includes familiar favorites like garlic, onion, chives, and leeks. But the allium world extends far beyond the vegetable patch. Ornamental alliums boast an incredible variety of shapes, sizes, and colors, making them a popular choice for flower beds and borders. Allium species. See full list at monsteraholic.com. How to care for alliums. Caring for alliums is relatively straightforward. They thrive in full sun and well-drained soil. Plant the bulbs in fall, about 3 times their depth, and let nature take its course. Alliums are generally low maintenance and require minimal watering once established. How to propagate alliums. There are 2 main ways to propagate alliums, by division and by seed. Division works best for established clumps that have multiplied over time. Simply dig up the clump in fall, carefully separate the bulbs, and replant them elsewhere. Growing alliums from seed takes patience, as it can take several years for them to reach flowering size. However, it's a rewarding way to expand your allium collection. What to plant with alliums? Alliums pair beautifully with a wide range of plants. Their bold blooms complement the soft textures of ornamental grasses like feather reed grass, Calamagrostis spp, or the delicate foliage of ferns. Early blooming alliums like drumstick alliums, Allium sphaerocephalon, can share the stage with spring bulbs like tulips and daffodils. Do allium bulbs multiply? Yes, allium bulbs can multiply over time. Some varieties, like chives and garlic chives, Allium tuberosum, produce offsets that form new plants. Other alliums may form new bulbils on the flower stalk, which can be planted to create new alliums. Do alliums spread? While some alliums can multiply, they aren't typically considered invasive plants. The spread is usually controlled, and unwanted offspring can be easily removed. Can you eat ornamental alliums? While most ornamental alliums are not poisonous, they also aren't particularly palatable. Their flavor can be strong and unpleasant. It's best to stick to the alliums you find in the grocery store for culinary purposes. How to pronounce allium? Allium is pronounced all-eum. The I is short, like the I in win. Is fennel an allium? No, fennel, Feniculum vulgar, is not an allium. It belongs to the Apiaceae family, which also includes parsley, carrots, and celery. While fennel does share some physical similarities with alliums, like its bulbous base and feathery foliage, they are distinct plant families. What to do with alliums after flowering? Once the blooms fade, you have a few options. You can deadhead the flower stalks to encourage the plant to focus its energy on the bulb. Alternatively, leave the seed heads on for winter interest and allow them to self-seed if desired. In late spring or early summer, once the foliage has yellowed and died back, you can cut it down to the base. Can you plant allium bulbs in the spring? While fall planting is ideal for most alliums, spring planting can be successful in some regions with mild winters. However, the success rate may be lower, and the plants might not flower the first year. When to cut back allium foliage? The best time to cut back allium foliage is in late spring or early summer, once it has completely yellowed and died back. Avoid cutting back the foliage too early, as it helps the plant replenish the bulb for next year's blooms. Can you grow allium from seed? Yes, you can grow allium from seed. However, it requires patience, as it can take several years for seedlings to reach flowering size. Sow the seeds in late summer or early fall in a well-drained seed tray and provide them with consistent moisture. Once the seedlings emerge, thin them to allow for proper growth. Overwinter them in a protected location and transplant them to the garden in spring. Does allium grow in shade? Most alliums prefer full sun for optimal growth and flowering. However, some varieties, like Allium ursinum, bears garlic, can tolerate partial shade. If your garden space is limited on sun, Consider these shade-tolerant options. By understanding these Allium's FAQs, you can confidently add these stunning plants to your garden and enjoy their unique beauty and architectural form for years to come. With a little care and planning, Alliums can become the conversation starters in your flower beds, attracting pollinators and adding a touch of wow factor to your garden throughout the season.